Thank you very much, and good afternoon. I'd like to thank the organisers for the kind invitation to join you here this afternoon in celebration of the work of NGOs. I represent an NGO called Crisis Management Initiative, CMI. Our work focuses on preventing and resolving violent conflict around the world. CMI was founded by President Martti Ahtisaari, the former President of the Republic of Finland and a Nobel Peace Prize laureate from 2008. And his legacy is something that we carry forward in our work. It comes to you as no surprise that violent conflicts have a devastating impact on people's lives. Human suffering, collapsed economies, and the destruction of entire communities are the bitter fruit of unresolved conflicts. The World Development Report estimates that every fifth person on this planet lives in a country or area terrorized by violent conflict or crime. It shouldn't have to be so. Modern conflicts are messy, complex, difficult to localize and isolate by definite territorial, ideological, or political boundaries. They usually take place within rather than between countries, and they seldom, if ever, end in a clear-cut victory. We only need to look at Syria, Ukraine, South Sudan. There are no military solutions for today's complex civil wars. A negotiated political solution is the only way to end the violence and ensure sustainable peace. The challenge is to reach a solution. Finding the right solution requires creativity and options to choose from, and creating these options is at the core of the work that my NGO, CMI, does in order to prevent and resolve violent conflict. I'd like to echo the words of the previous speaker and share with you a strong notion that is shared by many these days, that including women in groups makes the group smarter, and smarter groups come up with better options and better solutions create the way for better peace processes. As conflicts have become more multidimensional, the role of traditional diplomacy, which focuses on state-to-state relations, has become more limited. In this context, NGOs or private diplomacy organizations are increasingly being recognized as key players in the world of peacemaking. Private diplomacy is a form of non-intrusive diplomacy run by a non-state actor designed to create space for armed opponents to engage in unrestricted dialogue on the ways and means to peacefully resolve their conflicts. But what are the strengths of these NGOs? What advantages do we bring to peace processes? Private diplomacy actors can react to situations very swiftly, with fewer bureaucratic constraints and with greater ease for the kind of immediate and frequent political, tactical, and logistical decisions required of peace mediators. They are often the first to engage and to facilitate dialogue amongst belligerents before the official world even takes notice. We can work discreetly and ensure an impartial approach. We are often more acceptable to governments as we are not seen to pose a threat to national sovereignty. CMI's mediation in the Aceh peace process provides an example. For the Indonesian government, a private diplomacy actor was the only actor acceptable to mediate in an internal conflict. For the Free Aceh movement, CMI's cooperation with the official levels of both Finland and the European Union gave them the reassurance they needed to be able to lay down their weapons. Private actors go to tough places. They meet people and they do things that other actors cannot or will not do. Our work on the ground, investing the time and continuity required to secure the confidence and trust of the parties to a conflict is important and often groundbreaking. We can bring conflict parties together when time is not right for formal negotiations or when the formal talks don't include all relevant stakeholders, including women. Our platforms are informal, participatory, and quick to set up, and can facilitate the production of new and alternative solutions to conflicts and unlock stalemates. This is the core of mediation. NGOs have a special privilege to work between official and unofficial structures. I'll say that again because I think it's so important. NGOs have a special privilege to work between official and unofficial structures, and can thus advance new ways of interaction, both horizontally between different conflict parties and vertically between different layers of society and the international community. In the Caucasus and Africa, some of our work focuses on out-of-the-box thinking, first among young leaders on different sides of the conflict, and then by connecting them to the official actors in the peace process. Peacemaking often happens at many levels and by many different actors. It has been recognized that the increasing number of actors has made the international peacemaking community more effective, but only if their efforts point in the same direction. Communication and cooperation between actors is absolutely key. We NGOs know that our unique strengths are good for certain roles. Our impartiality, our experience and expertise are valuable assets. These roles can take different guises. We can act as lead mediators, we can support governmental or regional peacemakers, we can assist in the implementation of peace agreements, or engage civil society and connect relevant actors in new combinations. Then there are roles that require official muscle, and that is when we step back. The context we work in is hugely complex and characterized by the law of unintended consequences. Small decisions can have huge impact by the fact that nobody has the big picture because everything is interlinked, and by the notion that learning from the past is not sufficient. It needs to be complemented by a good understanding of the present, a vision of the future, and a balance between the three. We all face the necessity to develop a new skill set that reflects the requirements of a new era. We won't be able to bring about positive change and renewal by serving our short-term interests. We have to be able to work together for a common goal. We have to be able to factor in emotions and biases into decision-making, and we have to ensure clarity through diversity of thought. For me, NGOs at their best embody the view that Nelson Mandela articulated so well. It seems impossible until it's done. Thank you very much.